Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is Coldfury. I wanted to give you a quick update on my Dark Elixir farming progress and also show you guys a few raids. I'll try and do a live raid as well, so hopefully we can get or find a base that will cooperate. Quick update. Right now, Barbarian King is sitting at level 19, upgrading to level 20. He'll be done here in about 4 days. I'll probably end up gemming him early because my Dark Elixir is coming on pretty fast and hard with the 1 gem boost. There's a lot of Dark Elixir out there to be found. Archer Queen is sitting at level 19. I obviously have enough to put her to sleep to go to level 20, but we've got a clan war starting today, so I'm going to hold off just a little bit. I'm kind of listening to, I remember Stitch had posted in the forums about waiting until his Dark Elixir was completely full and then putting him down and then gemming him early when your Dark Elixir gets full or something to that effect. So I think I might play around with that because we do a fair amount of, we do 2 wars per week, and obviously it's a little more challenging to not have heroes for a war. So I'm gonna kind of experiment with that a little bit, but I'm still focusing on Dark Elixir. But as soon as I get closer to 200k, then I will put both heroes down and then leave them down until our next clan war, and then I'll probably wake them up for the war and then kind of rinse and repeat. Or if I farm another 200k, then I'll do it a little bit earlier than before the war. So I'll have to kind of see how the timing goes. There's definitely been a few distractions for my hero progress because Forum Elite was awesome, but it was 2 weeks where I had to keep my heroes up for obvious reasons with rating up in champions. So that was a little bit of a sidetrack. And then our clan Crimson Sky, we're going to be doing a push here next season. So here in another couple weeks, I'm going to have another 2 week distraction, if you will. But I don't mind. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of a break in the monotony of farming Dark Elixir continuously. If you notice my goofy base here, I'm playing around with Predator's base a little bit. This is my spin on his base, if you will. I kind of took it as a basis, but I made it a little wider in through here for the jump spell to try and make it a little bit harder for the jump spell to go through, and also opened it up on the top. So there's some tweaks, but the foundation is with Predator. This is kind of my farming version of it. Not the best farming base. It protects the Dark Elixir real well, but kind of a goofy farming base. But I was mostly experimenting around for clan wars and also for our push we're going to be doing here in a couple weeks, just trying to find a good base. So this is the um, trophy version, if you will, or the clan war version. So just trying to play around, experiment a little bit. We've got a few wars, so I want to see how it does in the wars, and then if I'm going to use this or switch to something else. By no means do I profess to have a perfect base, but just I always like playing around with it. And my defenses are still mostly Town Hall 9 level, so I'm at a big disadvantage as a Town Hall 10 anyway. Walls help out a little bit, but you know how it is. Do what you can do. As far as the Dark Elixir, still farming using I'll call it the Stitch method. I know it's not Stitch's method, but I like calling it that. Which is basically 14 giants, 30 goblins, 12 wall breakers, and then the rest is Barch. Barbarian Archer, the ratio kind of changes a little bit based on donations and build time and such, but it's the main thing is to be consistent with the 14 giants, 12 wall breakers, 30 goblins is what I've been using. Here's a few attacks. If you look through my attack log in general, I mean, I've got quite a few Town Hall snipes, obviously trying to hold trophies with either only one hero or both heroes down. Sometimes it's a challenge to hold trophies, so I usually grab most Town Halls I can get. And then as I was talking in the forums, there's the distractions with the 1 gem boost. There's a lot of collector raids out there, and even though I'm farming Dark Elixir, I can't pass up those 200k plus gold Elixir. Really gold. I don't care about Elixir. I'm always maxed on that. Raids, so you see a few of those, a little bit smaller one. But here's a couple Dark Elixir ones that I was focusing on the Dark Elixir, so I get a 2500. Another distraction there with Rodney. Gold, and then Andy had a good gold and Elixir one. Keep going, just these last three were pretty much focusing on Dark Elixir. Managed to get some good gold off of Andy as well. Just to watch a couple replays here. I love these bases when you find them just completely full. The only downside when I see a base like this and I have a my Dark Elixir army is I really wish I had a Barch or a BAM type army, because it's not the ideal army for getting all the collectors. It's really kind of a push army to go for the Dark Elixir core. I recognized right away that this base, to get into that core, was going to be really tricky, and if I did, I would pretty much have to sell out to get into it. So I decided to go for the loot, and also knowing that he had the level 6 drills, that we, that a good portion of the Dark Elixir would be in the drills, and I'd be able to kind of make the best of both worlds, get all the gold as well as the Dark Elixir drills. So, obviously get the win at the Town Hall. My strategy whenever I get a collector raid base is I try to dump just 1 or 2 giants to distract a little bit, then really kind of barch it with my limited amount of barch that I have, drop a few goblins in just to speed up the collector so I don't need to use all of my my barbarians archers to get them all. So exciting. So going in here, drop a giant, wall breaker, a few more archers. So really pretty much the same thing all the way around. Fast forward a little bit here. Drop a few goblins. Couple more giants, more barbarians, wall breaker, goblins. Yeah, and like I say, my main focus was trying to get all the gold out of this one. I already got the DE drills, which put me at 3,600 Dark Elixir, so good enough. And I figured it was more value to get the gold than to try and push everything to the core to get that extra 1,400 that was in the center, which would be very difficult to get. So, all in all, good raid, good gold, good Dark Elixir. Here's another one, 1,800. So on this one, obviously his drills and everything are empty, so it's just a push. I know as a Town Hall 10, protected by the Inferno Towers, that it's an all or none. I'm basically selling out for the Dark Elixir. He's got some wizards coming in there. I started carrying a lightning for the clan castles, because I've had a lot of raids just stoned because the clan troops just torch them, and so like my giants are almost down already, so now it's just a matter of spam, overwhelm everything to try and get in and grab that Dark Elixir. Inferno Tower obviously is only hitting 5 at a time, so it's just a matter of pushing them in there. Got in there, boom. So success. And seeing right away that the Dark Elixir drills were mostly empty, I knew that I was going to be able to get most of it because it was in the storage. So that was a success, even though it was a loss, but that's why we snipe all our town halls and do everything else, is so we can hit those when we see them. Here's the last one. Alright, so this is another one. As a Town Hall 9, I'm not as worried about getting into the core. He has a nice easy base that's fairly linear, what's the right word I'm looking for? It's straight shot right into the Dark Elixir, so I'm not worried about my troops going all crazy or wall breakers going crazy. Let's fast forward through the Town Hall snipe here. Alright, drop giants, spam them wide just to keep the splash damage down, drop a few wall breakers. Start working our way to the core. We got our clan troops again. I kind of messed up a little bit on the clan troops here because I saw the wizards come out, but then when I saw the witch, so I was waiting for the witch to come up so I could zap them all with the lightning. But unfortunately, those wizards at the front kind of smoked the rest of my giants, so it didn't work out too well. But here's the good news is we have a lot of troops, so we can still spam everything in and have some fun. I also knew I had my queen, so it makes it a lot easier. And my main thing is I try to make sure that I clear out the sides as much as possible so that the goblins have a nice straight shot in there. Notice I dropped a, rage spell as well as a, jump. Yeah, with the new jump spell, I've added that into my rotation just to help out getting into situations just like this because I kind of screwed up with the clan troops and my giants went down pretty early. My wall breakers didn't get all the way in, so had I not had the jump spell, the goblins would have ran up there, hit the wall, and probably would have all got smoked right there, and I wouldn't have gotten that dark elixir. But because I carried the jump spell, worked out. Ended up 2200 dark elixir. And so I mean, that's basically just an idea. We'll try and do a live raid here. This is basically what I've been carrying for the most part. A couple raids, lightning for clan troops. The heal's really nice if the giants are going in on a Town Hall 9 and they're starting to lose health. Just bringing your giants all the way back up can really extend a raid going into the solid core. And you just saw an example of where the jump spell comes in real handy. I think I already showed you my troop combo, 14 giants. 12 wall breakers, 30 goblins. And one thing that I do right before I start a raid is this is kind of how I build out the barracks to make it a little easier for me. I'm a stickler of making it as easy as possible. I like to have as many barracks as I can where I just queue everything up. So my first one I do all giants, second I do all archers, then the third one I drop it back, do my 12 wall breakers, and then I do um, 7 um, goblins, and it usually gets 2 or 3, sometimes 4 archers. So I just queue a few extras there at the end on that one, and then my last one, then I do my other 23. Oops, I'll Gobbies first. I do my other 23 goblins in that one, and then I just top it off with barbarians, and then leaving this queued just like this. As soon as I finish my raid, if I'm boosting, which I usually am, by the time I finish my raid, these are already chugging in and mostly done. And if I'm searching for a little while, a lot of times I'll come back and it'll be completely done and ready to go. And doing that setup in the barracks, it works out to where I get exactly 14 giants, obviously 30 goblins, 12 wall breakers, and then the barge fills out usually fairly even with a few more archers. And then if I'm doing a lot of donations, sometimes I'll get a few more barbarians and archers, but I always queue that off right before I start and then off to the races. Now I'm going to have to be real careful here and not get distracted by these collector bases, because see this 164, I'd probably hit that normally, but you guys probably want to see a dark elixir raid. So here's one. A little bit of elixir. So it's kind of a borderline on the low side, 1200 dark elixir. He's also got a couple of them in drills over here. So let's see if we can find a little bit bigger one. See, this one is another 1200. He's pretty far in the center there with heroes, probably clan troops, and his drills are spread out. So I would have to, in order to get that 1200, I'd have to get both drills, the storage, and that just makes it quite unlikely. I could probably get into the storage with a little bit of luck, but not worth it for 1200. If it was 4000 or something, I might try that one, because I'd probably end up getting 600 or 800 on that one. Nope. My trophies are a little bit low because I normally try to be up in Crystal 3, but farming down while being in Form Elite, I had 5 idle builders there for a couple weeks, so I had to do some quick farming for gold to get them all busy again. And as you guys probably know, the Town Hall 10 upgrades are a little pricey, so it took me a few days to farm enough to get them all 5 going. So I dropped down into gold 1 and was bamming away for gold. And now that I've got all my builders going, I've got 1 idle builder because I just finished my queen. Kind of debating on starting him on something, but uh, anyways, now that I'm shifting back to full-time Dark Elixir again, it's a little bit low, so I'm kind of gradually working my way up to Crystal 3. It's amazing that you can find some really good, like 2, 3, 4,000 Dark Elixir raids down here, but obviously they're less common, so that's why we want to typically be up in Crystal 3. Next. Next. You guys are getting excited now, aren't you? If it keeps going at this rate, I'm going to have to fast forward through these a little bit. Or maybe I can edit the video so that it's like my second hit and you think I'm awesome lucky. Okay, maybe not. I always love how people post videos that are, like every raid is 700,000 gold and all this. Because I think it's natural. Whenever we have 2, 3, 4 really good raids back to back, we always like to screenshot that attack log and talk about how awesome we are at farming, but in reality it doesn't hold true the whole time. That's a good one. All right, so I got 1600, Town Hall 9, so we don't have any Inferno Towers to deal with. It is tucked in there towards the Town Hall, but based on looking at his drills are fairly empty, so we don't need to worry about that. And the path to get to the Town Hall takes out one of the drills anyway, so we can kind of go. I think I'm going to come in from the kind of the top here. Yeah, so we'll just come in from the top right side, however you want to describe it. Do giants, drop the archers, and get the wall breakers. Like follow some I suck at wall breaker AI. I never have been able to really figure it out all that well. So now we got our giants going in there. There gotta be some. My goblin's going all crazy. Alright, I guess you guys can go over here. The archers ended up getting the Dark Elixir. See, this is an example of when you have a good raid strategy, you can kind of suck at doing it, because I've pretty much worked up that deployment in just about every way. But still got the Dark Elixir, got all of it. Now I'm going to drop my clan troops, which of course are going to go to the left. So in there we go. I'm just going to try and get the Town Hall to knock the win out. Didn't even have to use too much on the spell side there. Even got the 2-star. So, like that one ended up with 1600, a little over 1600 Dark Elixir. Elixir don't really care. I seem like I'm always maxed. Gold didn't get much of nothing there, which I think it's a hard mindset to shift into just farming Dark Elixir and focusing on that. I mean, obviously, I want to try to hit ones that have good gold as well, but when I do see one that's pretty easy to hit, I still hit it. I don't worry about what the gold is, because then I focus on my Dark Elixir, because you're just decreasing your odds of getting a good DE hit if you're only waiting for good DE hits with good gold. You're just kind of you're just limiting the amount of bases that you can hit. But I think that one's actually kind of a funny example. I'm glad you guys saw it, because it's just an example of, my goblins were going all crazy. They weren't running to the middle. We were, there's just a lot of goofy things going on there. So it still worked out. I still got the Dark Elixir in the middle. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is this is just a picture of part of my spreadsheet that I use to track my hero progress, which really just the ultimate goal is to give me an idea of how much loot per day or how much dark elixir per day that I need to farm in order to keep my heroes going full time. Right now I've got it, I mean, just to show you what it is at the top, the very top green one is the Barbarian King and then the Archer Queen. The 7 is just how many days per level upgrade that it takes, and then their cost right below it, the 90,000, 100,000 for level 20. As you can, do the math, Dark Elixir needed to upgrade both of those to level 20 is 190,000. And in a period of that 7 days, DE from drills with the current 1 gem boost on drills, I'm getting 100 or 14,400 Dark Elixir per day, which is 100,800 per 7 days. So that means I only have to farm 89,200 Dark Elixir over a period of 7 days in order to keep both heroes down full time, or 12,700 Dark Elixir per day. With the boost, that's pretty darn easy to get because I just to give you an idea, yesterday morning I think I was around 30,000 Dark Elixir, and today I'm over 110,000 Dark Elixir. And I did a couple boosted sessions yesterday, so I'm way overshooting that loot per day. And basically it's just a matter of I can either just farm Dark Elixir to keep this up, to just keep them down permanently, or I can gem them early to speed up the hero progression. I'll probably do a little bit of both overall. And here in a couple weeks, as I mentioned, we're doing a push with Crimson Sky up to champion, so that'll get me ahead a little bit so that I don't have to kill my overall progression on getting my heroes to level 40, because my goal is to have them done by end of year. Uh, so that just nice to have goals out there. And then the spreadsheet really helps me keep track of that goal as far as how much I need to do per day. So that's all I got today, guys. I really appreciate you taking time to watch the video, and good luck on upgrading your heroes. Take it easy. Bye.